Welcome to Scholar Skills. I'm your host, Reverend Vieira. Let's learn together. All right, you paused the video. Now you're back. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, okay? We're going to take our verb cards, all right? And I'm going to create sentences with these noun cards that I've written on. So let's see. I have feed. It's my first card here. And I'm going to choose, let's see, which noun card am I going to choose? Okay. I'm going to choose Bill and Mary. Let's choose them first. Bill and Mary. I'll bring this over here so you can see it really clearly. Okay, we'll be over to the right here. Okay, Bill and Mary fed. I'll choose this tense at the bottom. Bill and Mary fed the dog yesterday. Bill and Mary fed the dog yesterday. See, I've created a sentence with Bill and Mary, and they fed the dog. Now, here's what a pronoun can do. Let's say I wanted to replace Bill and Mary in the next sentence. Let's say I wanted to say, Bill and Mary feed the dog every day. Or Bill and Mary usually feed the dog in the morning. So in my first sentence, I said, Bill and Mary fed the dog yesterday. My next sentence can say, Bill and Mary feed the dog every day. But what if I don't want to use Bill and Mary? So here's what I can do. I can substitute a word for Bill and Mary. So instead of saying Bill and Mary in every sentence, I can say, instead of Bill and Mary, watch this now, I'm going to replace Bill and Mary with they. They feed the dog every day. See what I've done? I've used a pronoun. What's a pronoun? A pronoun is a substitute. Pronouns are substitutes for nouns. And I've replaced Bill and Mary with the word they. So my first sentence can say, Bill and Mary feed the dog or fed the dog yesterday. In my next sentence, I'll say, they usually feed it every morning. So instead of saying Bill and Mary over and over again, what have I done? I have replaced the words Bill and Mary with the word they. That's what pronouns do. They replace nouns. They substitute for nouns. Great, so let's take this pair away. So I have they and Bill and Mary. And notice that they is a plural pronoun because it replaces two nouns. Bill and Mary replaced by they. Okay, so a plural noun or a plural subject must be replaced by a plural pronoun. They, meaning more than one. All right, let's put this out of the way for a second. And now, next verb here. I'm not going to use all my cards, but just enough to show you how this works, okay? All right. So, I'm going to choose Simon. It's my next person here. And I'll say Simon won. I'm going to go down here. Simon won the spelling bee. Simon won the spelling bee. That's my sentence. Now, in my next sentence, I wanted to say Simon practiced every day. And maybe in a third sentence, I could say Simon worked really hard. But you see how dreary and awful that will begin to sound. How boring, how repetitious. Simon won the spelling bee, period. Simon practiced every day, period. Well, instead of saying Simon, I can replace him with a pronoun. I can replace the name Simon. I can say he won because he practiced every day. So instead of saying Simon, I replaced it with the pronoun he. And he can replace any noun that is a male noun, okay, a masculine term. So he won. Instead of saying Simon won, I replace Simon with the word he. Now see how that really works, okay? All right, so let's think about another one now, another combination here. Move that over to the side. Okay, I have the verb move. I use my family. So here's my sentence. My family moved to New York 10 years ago. My family moved to New York 10 years ago. Wow, that's great. But what if I wanted to say my family lives in Westchester now, or my family loves the city? Well, I don't want to keep using the term my family over and over again. So instead of saying that, guess what pronoun I can use? Can you guess by now? Maybe you could do it with me. Let's see. Instead of saying my family, what do you think I can do? I can say, yes, correct. We moved. You see? We moved. And we replaces the term my family. So I can put it right over that. We moved. I could say my family moved, but now I can say we moved. And you see how pronouns can replace nouns. All right, let's try it one more time, okay? I think you're getting the concept now, because after this lesson is over, you will go and do the same thing. You will take your pronouns, the ones that you took out, you will take some verbs, and you will make some sentences. But before you do that, you've got to create some noun cards, okay? See, I created these names, and then replace those nouns with your pronouns. So that's your exercise. Create noun cards, make sentences with verb cards, noun and verb, subject and verb, okay? And then replace those nouns, those subjects, with pronouns that match them. So the next one now is LaShawn sings in the choir. LaShawn sings in the choir. That's my next sentence. Now, if I wanted to say something else about LaShawn, but I didn't want to use her name over and over again, what could I do? Yeah, what pronoun could I use to replace LaShawn with? Let me stop for a second. Yes, you are correct. I could say she sings in the choir. She can replace the term LaShawn. Wonderful. So I think you're getting the hang of this now, okay? And then you can use your pronouns. You can use I. Let's see, you want to say I sing in the choir. Or did you sing in the choir last night? You see? So I can use these pronouns to keep replacing subjects. Well, one final one. The dog drank the water because he was thirsty. The dog, I'm going over here for a second. The dog drank the water. Great sentence. Now, what can I replace the term the dog with? Well, yeah, I can say it, because the dog is well, it's not a person, right? So it's a thing. So I can use the pronoun it to replace it. It drank the water. It drank the water. All right. Now, finally, I can use one more here. Let me go back to my verb sing one more time, because I like that verb. Okay. And I can say students sing in the large choir every Tuesday. Students sing in the large choir every Tuesday. Well, again, I'm speaking about students. So what can I do? What pronoun can I use? I'm going to go back over. See, I'm grabbing some pronouns here. Which one do you think I can use to replace students with? Is it he? Is it we? Is it it? Is it? Oh, you're correct. What about they? They sing. Again, replacing the plural, okay? So that's how we can do it, and that's a great way of replacing. Remember, pronouns replace nouns. They are substitutes for nouns. Now, I want you to go and practice now. Get your green cards, your yellow cards. Write on the noun cards, okay? Write your own nouns, your own subjects. I chose students and a bunch. You can choose others. Create your sentence, and then choose the correct pronoun to replace each noun, each subject. Then I want you to write them down in your notebook. Make sure you write them down. Write your sentences down. Underline your pronouns in this light green. So you're going to write out your noun sentences. Then right below that, you're going to write a pronoun sentence with the same verb, okay? So I'll write students sing. Then below that, I'll write they sing. And I'll replace that, and make sure you always underline or highlight your cards in the color in your sentences. So students will be highlighted in green or underlined in dark green, light green, and then of course yellow for my verbs, okay? Yellow for my verbs. So I can say they sing, remember, instead of students sing. And that's how I'm going to do it. But I'm going to write my sentences out. Students sing first. Students sing every morning. Then I'll write a new sentence. They sing every morning. Okay? All right. So that's what pronouns do. They replace nouns. Let's go and get it done. All right.